Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into the eyes of the Leviathan. Welcome to the latest video in the Leviathan box. Thank you very much to Games Workshop for sending the box out to me so that I can preview this for you all. And I do like, whenever Games Workshop send me models to preview, I do like giving you a little tour of the kit. And today we're going to have a look at the Sternguard veterans. I think they're a bit more of an exciting kit than I thought they were going to be. A lot of people seem to be very, very excited about these ones. A few people in chat were saying that there's a lot of hype and a lot of expectation or excitement over these models. It might be because we have a Might be because we have a Mark 8 helmet in here. So we're kind of smashing together Primaris and Firstborn, which I think is quite cool, and it's been something I've been kind of playing around with for a while anyway. I'm not very well versed with my Space Marine lore. I've been kind of reading up and listening to Lutin and Arbiter Ian, etc. about all the Space Marine stuff. I've been doing that for a while. I'm very much more of a Xenos kind of a guy. I do like my Necrons and my Drakari, my Eldar and things like that. So the Space Marines are cool. The Sternguard, this kit, having access to all the different weaponry, and I know they've kind of merged the profiles together, which has also been very, very interesting for the bolter as well. The rules that have come out where they've kind of merged all the bolter stats together has given us the ability within the Primaris to start mixing in some of the Firstborn war gear, so like the Firstborn bolter here with a little scope on the top, like Firstborn bolters that look iconically bolter, like these kind of bits. And although I'm not a massive Space Marine like fanboy, I have been doing my own kind of chapter recently. Everybody on my Twitch stream will know all about my Dark Pharaons. My Dark Pharaons are here. I'm going to do lots more about these on YouTube because they're a really, really exciting little chapter. But you'll notice that I was kind of throwing in some Firstborn stuff into the kits for a while, really. So we got Storm Bolters. Yes, I will drill the barrels. I was doing the army absolutely en masse. So there's got lots of little bits in here. Lots of I will explain the wisps at some point on YouTube in the future. But this is what they look like. And then we've got like Primaris Vanguard veterans, and I also did Primaris versions of the Death Company. And yeah, it's been an interesting kind of little project. It was more of a hobby project, and I just kind of felt like I needed a Space Marine army. Everybody needs a Space Marine army, right? And I have been doing a few of the Dark Angels, which has been really, really good fun. But I think these are going to fit in and slot in quite well with the Dark Pharaons. Now, because they've got, and you'll have to indulge my little kind of conversion and idea brain on this one, because they've got lots of kind of Firstborn stuff on here. I'm wondering how much kind of Firstborn we can throw in as well. So this is one of the models that I've been doing for the Dark Angel Risen, in inverted commas, Dark Angel Risen kill team, which I'm going to be working towards. So we've removed the Imperialis. He's got a Mark 6 backpack. Gave him a little loincloth. It's a little bit short because it tore when I was sculpting it. And this one was going to have, I was going to put on one of the old Firstborn bolters on this guy, so he's going to have a Firstborn bolter, which is going to be quite cool. I also got some, I think these are Mark 3. I think they're Mark 3. So this was kind of inspired because of Cypher, so that's kind of Cypher's backpack. So I'm wondering how many of these kind of Firstborn things we can throw on here, because the stats and the stat line makes it kind of hobby friendly, if that makes sense. So the Combi Bolter down here has just got a generic stat line. It doesn't matter whether it's a melter or a plasma or a flamer. I can't remember what the rule it is. I think it's devastating wounds. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So they're kind of all combined together. So can we use some of these? So we've got a combi flamer there, which would be quite cool. They all come with the hands. So the hands are The hands are already on the gun. So these are just some, I think these are actually Sternguard Veteran Firstborn kits. This one's an amazing gun. I love that one. I've been waiting for an opportunity to use that one. And then, of course, the Heavy Bolter, one of my favourite, most iconic 40k weapons. However, before we get there, there's my phone. Remember, mute your phone, Christopher. Before we get there, we've obviously got to build these. Now, looking at the kit themselves, we have, I think we've got 5 here. So we've got 5 here, and then on the other side of the sprue, we have the Phobos Lieutenant, which is going to be really, really cool to build. And we've got the Apothecary Dude. And is that it? Yeah, the Apothecary Dude and the Phobos, and then we've got the rest of the Sternguard veterans here as well. And we do have, which I was very, very happy to see, we do have an iconic Heavy Bolter as well. So we are going to get a Heavy Bolter Sternguard veteran. Nice to see that they've got a variation of shoulder pads as well. There we go. So they've got some of the shoulder pads with the rims around them, which is really, really nice. I think they've all got the same sort of armour, but they do all have loincloths. And like I was saying, I'm not really a big fan of the cloth over the top of the abdominal armour. I don't know whether I want to just cut off some of the torsos and replace them with normal intercessor torsos. Keep the loincloths. I don't mind the loincloths. The loincloths look cool. But yeah, it's these little ab bits. I will leave them on for here. One thing I am going to do as well, we're going to see, we've got plenty of Firstborn helmets over there as well. We're going to plug in some Firstborn helmets and see how those kind of just slot in. So this is going to be possibly a little bit of a longer video. And we're going to try lots of different things and see what fits together. I'm also going to see how many of these parts fit on to, for instance. So it's going to be like a bit of a hobby video, this one. We're going to see how they fit onto regular intercessor bodies. We've also got some heavy intercessor bodies here. This one as well. We've removed the Imperialis from his chest because this was going to be part of the Dark Angel Risen kill team. And I've also even just got an aggressor one as well. I've got an aggressor body just to see. I just thought it'd be quite interesting to do a bit of a hobby video and give you a sneak peek into the window of the mind of Chris as he's throwing conversions together. It's a scary, scary, scary place, as you well know from yesterday when we had the Jason the Wheeled Warriors turned up. Right, yes, so my Dark Pharaons, like I was saying, they are kind of nods to the Firstborn stuff. I even started doing, because my Dark Pharaons are based on, they are not a successor, but they are based on the rules for Blood Angels. So it just gives me the ability to have cool units within the army. I just thought it was quite cool. So I use the Blood Angel rules, but they're not a successor chapter. I will go into that in another video. But yeah, I'm kind of merging all the Firstborn already with in the Dark Pharaon chapter. So this is quite an exciting little unit, I think. So let's get these built. We're going to have a look through them. We've got a combi bolter. We've got a regular bolter. We've got a massive assault bolter thing. We've got a combi bolter down here with a plasma. As I was saying, it doesn't matter whether it's plasma or melter. It's the same stat line in the game, so it really, really doesn't matter. And then, of course, we have the heavy bolter. Oh, one thing I do want to show you. So my Dark Pharaons, because I kind of upgraded everything and upscaled everything, I started to do some Primaris Devastators, which would be quite cool. And having these and seeing like the scale of, where's the heavy bolter again? Seeing the scale of the heavy bolter here, it's going to be really interesting to be able to compare that to, where's the heavy bolter one? There he is. Compare that to the heavy bolter one here. So I have a heavy bolter Primaris Intercessor, which we can compare once we've got that, whatever it is, heavy bolter up. It looks very, very similar. It just hasn't got the massive, cool belt feed that this heavy bolter has. But let's get these all snipped out. We are going to build them all. In terms of building, they are very, very simple. They're all 3 steps. So you've got the Sternguard Veteran Sergeant, 3 steps, bang, 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 bang for the next one. all the way down here. So the pegs that we've been talking about, I'm going to probably remove the pegs off the arms so that we can kind of swap the arms around and see how they all fit on each other and see what other arms we can put on. And also removing some of the pegs in some of the more tight to join together areas. Does that make sense? So for instance, the torsos, so this loincloth fitting into there, and then the leg, and then the torso coming on front, like having that amount of pegs. So you've got 3 pegs in there all holding this one together, and they've all got to line up, and they've all got to clear as you kind of pushing them together. So I will probably be removing all of these pegs. I will definitely be removing pegs from the head so that we can put different heads on and we can play around with, because I've got a few heads on this sprue. I've just grabbed some of my firstborn sprues, so I've got some of the heads. We can definitely use some of these and see how they go. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 bear heads there. We don't really want to use those ones. I want to use the old helmets and see how they go. But yeah, let's get to clipping these out. We'll have a look and see how we get going. Oh wow, that one's cool. So the plasma's got the bolt feed on the top. That's awesome. Right. Anyway, let's get going. Thank you very much. Let's go clippity. Clip, clip, clip. Sternguard veterans. Why do they have cloth over their arms? Anyway, shut up, Chris. Let's go. These mold lines are terrible. They're all over the place, and some of them are quite pronounced. So this one is, why do they always do this? Why do Games Workshop always have a mold line running right down the middle of a little stud? It is quite cool to see these studded shin pads again though. How cool is that looking? That's really good. Right, we will carry on cleaning up. But yeah, check out the mold line. They are very pronounced. Taking a little bit of work to get rid of some of them. Right. Anyway, shall leave you back with some music. Okay, so first one is done. I think this one is going to go together just normally. We're going to throw this on there as per. Interesting how he's got. So I'm guessing these are like power conduits going in, because that's the belt fed, or the drum fed. Sorry, heavy bolter or whatever bolter this version is called, like a Stalker Heavy Mega Smasher. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. I don't know, which one do we think? Do we like new Sternguard Heavy? I still like the classic one. Look how cool that look how cool that is. What I should do is pull these arms off and put it on a Sternguard body. I think that would be awesome. I think we might have to I might have to find another one of these and throw it on. That's it's just the belt feed, isn't it? The belt feed is amazing. Belt feed looks cool. But other than that, it's really nice. It's nice to see the studs on the shin pad. Very, very nice. It's got the power conduits on the on this heavy bolter as well. Looks just underneath the bolt feed, and we also have there's the new, is it Mark 10? Is Primaris Mark 10? I think it is, isn't it? So there's a Mark 10 helmet that goes on there. We also have somewhere else. There we go. There is the Mark 8. So we'll snip off the bit on the Mark 8 that comes with a kit. Tell you what, I kind of want to give all my Primaris models Mark 8 helmets. They look so good on there. That looks so cool. Let me find some. Let me just get a little bit of tack. So I'll get a little bit of tack, and we'll drop that on there. But that looks that looks so cool. I really want to. This video is going to make me go onto eBay and find all the Mark 8 helmets in the world and get them all, because that looks so iconic. That looks so much better than the Mark 10 helmets. I'm doing it. They're all going. All these Dark Pharaons are going to have classic helmets. They're going to have to. They look so good. Do you think? What do we think? I think that looks amazing. Right. I'm going to get the rest of them built, and then we're going to come back and we're going to kind of throw in some of the battery Aziz.
Battery Aziz.
Back before I was rudely interrupted there. So I'm going to build the rest of them, then we're going to come back and we're going to compare some of the firstborn war gear that we can drop onto these models and see what we can make. See what we can swap around and see what we can fit in and make look cool. I think this looks amazing. I think the heavy bolter is absolutely fantastic. So that is definitely staying. Yeah, right. I will click my fingers and we're going to have all of them put together then. Let's go. All together, all done, all done. I'm going to show this one off first because this is the one with the helmet. I really want more of these helmets now. I don't know what. Well, we're going to find out. Don't kind of know what scale the other ones are. We haven't had a look yet. And this is, this is the Primaris version of a heavy bolter, which I'm a massive fan of, and I really like that helmet. Like if we compare, so a lot of these are just kind of mocked up at the moment, which is cool. We're going to be able to show some swaps around, swapsies, and we'll just throw a backpack on there as well, just so that we can see the silhouette a little bit better. So there is a normal Sternguard veteran, and what do you think in chat, guys? What do we think? Drop a comment down below on whether you prefer Mark 10 helmet or Mark 7 helmet, because I really like the Mark 7 helmet. I think the Mark 7 helmet just, I don't know what it is, it just looks cooler. Is it the nostalgia side of it? I'm not sure, but there's just something about it. Does it look more like a face? I don't know, because you've got the larger grill on there. I don't know, it just looks better. I want lots of these. I want my entire army to have those helmets on. Right now, the next thing we're going to do is have a look at some of the firstborn parts and see how they kind of scale up and fit. That's a really cool pose as well. I do like that pose with the combi melter bolter. So let's take this one off. And I clipped out from the firstborn. I think it was the Sternguard veteran sprue, but I clipped out some of these other helmets, and we can put one of those on there now and see how the scale. Now I've been talking a lot about the scale and the detail of current Games Workshop kits quite a lot in these reviews, in terms of the scale and the small scale of the details that they are now able to get on the kits, on the sprue, in the plastic, is just, it's just out of this world. Like the detail in here and around here, and the crispness of that detail as well, that might be what shows up the older kits. However, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think that's particularly obvious. It looks a little bit softer in comparison, but I don't think it's going to I don't think you're going to notice once it's all painted up. But that is a Sternguard veteran Mark 7 helmet on a new Sternguard veteran body. Now I've got a few other things to kind of throw around as well. I've got all of these arms they're just glued together like this so that we can pop them on. So one of the things I wanted to do was throw them on my, where is he? My, here we go. Trimmed up, and the mix of marks. So we've got a Mark 6 backpack on there. We're going to throw a Mark 7 helmet on this guy, and then we're going to throw the Sternguard shoulder pads on. Oh my word, that looks that looks really cool. So this is a intercessor. So this is one of the intercessors which I was going to use for my Dark Angel Risen kill team, which I'm making up. Mark 6 backpack, Mark 7 helmet now from the Sternguard pack. I've removed the Imperialis from the chest, and let's give him, where's the big gun? There we go. Let's give him the big gun. Ah, okay, so that one doesn't fit, so that means that this armor is bigger. Yeah, that armor chest is a little bit bigger, so that doesn't fit as well. Oh, I don't know actually. Maybe it's just that. Yeah, it's just that the ribbing on the inside of that arm is a little bit further out, so it does kind of fit. Oh my word! There is something about these old Mark 7 helmets which just make everything look cooler. I think I'm going to have to throw a lot more on. Right now, I have that one, so we'll put that one back on that guy because that's already got a Mark 7 helmet. What do you think about the backpacks as well? I quite like because these Mark 6 backpacks are a tiny bit smaller. They're a tiny bit smaller in scale. And I know this isn't really a review of the Sternguard stuff. We're kind of mixing it all up, but I thought it'd be really interesting to see how all the, I mean, this is just not. Let's do that one. So I thought it'd be really interesting to show how some of the other kits fit on and scale up. So this is that Sternguard bolter that I was talking about, and then we've also got here a old Sternguard arm holding the sword. There we go, firstborn. Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is maybe just put all the Sternguard weapons and everything, like, it's the war gear. I think it's the war gear that makes the models, right? So to be able to spot a Sternguard unit on the battlefield, then you look at the war gear, and the war gear on these is combi weapons, big massive heavy bolter, jobby doodah, and the mix of marks. So I don't know. I think this kind of style might look even cooler. I'm still not a fan of this little ab dress, if you like. It's the cloth over the abs that comes down across the loincloth. I don't mind the loincloth. I just wish this ab armor wasn't there. The cloth over the abs. Right. Have I got one more? I do have one more. So I've got also here. I think this one is going to be a little bit too small. So this is, I think it's a Mark 3. And again, I got this one for my kill team, the Risen kill team. I think this one's going to be too small. I actually quite like the kind of smaller scale backpacks. You know, when we were talking about the scale of the Imperial Guard a while back on some of the Imperial Guard reviews, and I really like the scale of those in that everything was much smaller. Like the guns look much smaller and things, and it just had I don't know what it was. I think that's too small actually. I think the scale of that is just too small. But that is Sternguard, new Sternguard with Mark 7 helmet and a backpack. Let's swap that backpack out, and we'll throw a Mark 6 one on. But Sternguard, I read a little bit on the Space Marine Codex, the old Space Marine Codex. I haven't got the new one. Don't go thinking I've got new Space Marine Codex or anything. I read the old Space Marine Codex just to kind of find out a little bit more about Sternguard veterans and where their role is. And they're in the first company as far as I remember. And they basically just have their pick of war gear. So they have like nostalgic war gear options, and maybe they'll keep their helmet because they're superstitious or something. I don't know, but that's where the mix of war gear seems to come from. And now Games Workshop have opened up that little bit of lore with this kit, in that, hey, look, you can have a Mark 7 helmet in there. Now, can you spot a difference between... I mean, you can spot a difference between those two helmets, but they are the same size. They are definitely the same size. Let me throw them a little bit closer so that we can see. So they are the same size, but you can spot a little bit of clarity difference, but not a lot. Not a lot. And I do definitely like the smaller backpack. I think the backpack just seems to work. There we go. Anyway, so full kit review. One thing I just wanted to do very, very quickly as well, while we're here, I've got a Blade Guard Veteran body just to kind of compare the size. I use the Blade Guard Veterans in my Dark Pharaons to represent the Sanguinary Guard. So we'll just get this in focus and throw some arms on this. So this is the new Sternguard Veteran arms on a Blade Guard Veteran. Now I believe this is like a logo. This is their marking for Blade Guard Veterans. So like, I don't know whether you can kind of swap these in quite as easily, but it's the same size. It's exactly the same size. If we take the arms off, come on, off you come. Not that one. There we go. If we take the arms off, they look identical. They look absolutely identical in the size, poses and everything. So that's quite cool to know. But everything fits. All the other little options fit. We've got that's the Firstborn heavy bolter that we had in comparison to the new heavy bolter. And there we go. We've got lots of options, but that is them all built up. That's them all built up. So we've got all those. 1, 2, 3. Where are the other bodies? There we go. There's another body there. 4. And then we've got that guy who we can take off these parts and drop his bolt gun on as well. Now, another good thing to know is that apart from which one is it? That one? Apart from this one, nope, not that one, this one. Apart from this one, because this one has the arm which goes across the chest and therefore it pegs in, I have cut all the pegs off. I don't think there's a single peg which I've left on these, because as I was saying in earlier videos, the Space Marine side of things, the pegs are really intrusive in terms of the fit, so they don't go together very well. So I've cut all the pegs off. I tend to, for things like this one, I've cut the majority of it off just so that it locates it. But if you have the peg intruding all the way into the hole, there's no space for glue, so that's one of the issues when you're trying to push them together. If you fill the hole, or if you put a little bit of glue in the hole, the glue hasn't got anywhere to go when you push the peg in, because there's such a good fit. So the glue then pushes the part out. So you're pushing it in, it sits, and then because there's pressure in there, it pushes the part out, which is why you get that little join line. But that's the whole kit there. That's a sergeant who looks absolutely awesome. I did swap in a Blade Guard. There we go. I did swap in a Blade Guard arm as well, just to see how that looked. The difference is that we're going to have a larger shoulder pad on that side, but the Blade Guard arms do kind of fit in and they look all right. So usual kind of Space Marine, everything kind of swaps in and cuts, and you can interchange all the different parts. So if you have got some parts and you want to play around with them, the Sternguard Veterans, the rules and everything on the data sheet and the stat sheets make all the war gear quite simple. Like I was saying, the combi weapons, because the combi weapons have got one stat line, it doesn't matter what the combi weapon actually looks like. Where is it? there we go. Because it doesn't matter what the combi weapon actually looks like, whether it's a melter or a plasma combi weapon, or even, as we can see here, a flamer combi weapon. This is from the Sternguard kit as well, so if we take this one off there very, very quickly, we'll just do a very quick mock-up here. So we can put the flamer one on there like that. This is just to, oh no, come on, come here. This is just to show. So you can put the flamer combi weapons on from the old Sternguard kit. You could easily make that fit. It's a little bit smaller, the guns are a tiny bit smaller on the old Firstborn stuff, but not particularly noticeably. And like I was saying, like sometimes smaller weapons, Desolation Squad, sometimes smaller weapons actually work quite well. So yeah, there we go, that's the full kit. I know this is a slightly longer review, but I really wanted to kind of throw some of the other parts on here. If you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments and I will happily answer them. If you want to know whether these fit any of the other bodies, I did say that I was going to try a heavy intercessor, so here's a heavy intercessor. We won't use, I mean, this looks like the heavy intercessors have that massive bolter anyway, don't they? So that doesn't fit particularly well. What does it look like on a normal, with a normal combi weapon? There we go. So that's a heavy intercessor with a regular combi weapon. It doesn't look all that bad actually. These large shoulder pads do help when you're putting them on larger things like this. And then just to finish it off, because I did say I'd got one as well, there's an aggressor, and that looks tiny. But to be fair, that's because it doesn't quite fit. Doesn't quite fit in there. Right, there we go. Anyway, that is as I'm sure you will agree, a full review and analysis on the new Sternguard veterans. I think I'm going to get some intercessors, swap some marks over, and maybe cut out some of the loincloths and apply them, or just sculpt loincloth on them, and put the war gear on the intercessors. But they are very, very cool. They are very cool. I do love it when they have tilt shields on models in the Space Marine Army. So there we go. I hope that's been enjoyable to watch. Thank you very much for hanging out and watching all these videos. There might be, because tomorrow is Saturday, as of day of recording this, there might be 2 videos for you tomorrow, and just some of the smaller kits. We'll throw out a couple of videos for you tomorrow, being a Saturday. So have an amazing weekend, guys. Thank you very, very much for hanging out. I will be live on Twitch tonight, so it's twitch.tv/Chris Frossin, and you can please drop me a follow on Instagram and Twitter. That's at Chris Frossin as well, and I will see you next week for more videos. Get all of these Sternguard veterans put back together. And now all I've got to do is find a source. Please put in the comments the best kit to source lots of Mark 7 helmets from. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care. Have an amazing evening. And I will see you all on stream later. Bye-bye.